Yeah.
Here we are, coming again, episode 33, season 2, episode 33. We're doing matchup breakdown. We got Anthony and Michael M.
And Bob Ross.
Yeah, you got the Bob Ross vibes. I don't know where the fuck you pulled that wig out.
Dude, I got all types of stuff in my closet. Don't go
You
in
literally went in your room for 2 seconds and came out with that goddamn wig.
Never go in that closet.
If you want,
you might find some shit in there.
I have done it before.
My dad's done some
Found
closet
some
searching and didn't end out too well for him.
He's a little upset. Yeah, you have some interesting things in your closet, to say the least. If you want to check out the Bob Ross wig, check us out on YouTube. We have full video format for these podcasts. So there you go. You can go see what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, looking luscious.
All right.
Big words
So today we got episode 33, season 2. We're talking matchups. We're gonna go over the first 8. I'm gonna name them off really quick before we get into them. I'm just gonna name them off so you can know which games we're gonna go over. Otherwise, go to the next episode and we'll have those breakdowns. On these breakdowns too, I don't think we ever talk about what we do. So when we do these breakdowns, we're literally breaking down every position for every game and how we feel the matchup is. Every running back for each team, every wide receiver, every tight end, for the most part, quarterbacks, defenses.
Yeah, if you don't hear us say a player, it's probably because we don't think he's worth starting. We pretty much say every player.
To be honest, we cover almost every player. Yeah. So
some podcasts will just be like, or shows you watch NFL Network, start Julio Jones. It's like, yeah, no shit, bro.
Yeah.
I think everyone's starting Julio Jones.
Exactly. So
sit the Dolphins' third wide receiver.
But that being said, sit the fucking first Dolphins wide receiver. So that being said, I'm just going to tell you what games we're going to go over. So in this game, we're going to go over the Detroit Giants game, the Titans Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, the Chicago Bears against the Chargers, the Seahawks against the Falcons, the Jaguars against the Jets, the Bills against the Eagles, Rams against the Bengals, and that's actually in London. And then we got London.
Who's in London?
Oh, actually, we got the Rams playing the Bengals. We got the Saints playing Arizona. So those are the games we're going to cover. But first, I just want to say, if you could leave us a review on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcast app, that'd be amazing. 5-star review, 5 stars, and leave us a review. It really helps us out. So we appreciate that. If you go and do that, we do have some people doing it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, we like you guys.
We appreciate you guys a lot.
I'll
send you a message saying, "Oh, very good. I like what you're bringing to the table." Yeah, that was not a very good accent. All right.
What do we have secondly?
Secondly, we have a little sponsor. I just want to name drop them real quick. Thrive Fantasy. Links down below. If you want to download the Thrive Fantasy app, it's like a daily fantasy app. You basically do prop bets. The prop bets give you points for the week. And if you have a certain more points than the other person you're playing against, you win actual money. So it's pretty sweet. It's just mostly prop betting. So prop bets is stuff like if you're betting whether or not a receiver is going to go over 60 yards or 45 yards, whatever. It's like over under, yes or no. Will they go over it? Whatnot. So if you're interested in something like that, or if you do daily fantasy, do.
I was like, you just said do.
And if you already do fantasy, daily fantasy, go ahead and check it out. Thrive Fantasy. It's pretty dope. Enter promo code when you sign up, Average Bros. Just how do you normally spell it? No, it's not case sensitive, nothing like that. And you get a free extra $10 after a minimum deposit of $10. So you throw $10 in, they'll match you half. They'll give you $10. Pretty sweet. Free money.
Free $10, bro.
Yeah, and gamble it. You never know. You could be up $100,000 like me.
Like us.
We're actually buying that next house. We're gonna start a new studio over there.
So just gonna start owning.
We're just gonna own the neighborhood soon.
We're gonna paint
and you know how we're doing that? We're gonna own the neighborhood because of Thrive Fantasy.
We're gonna paint the house in Average Bros colors.
Yeah, exactly.
And then put our logo on the
bright ass fucking looking like McDonald's neighborhood. All right, let's start the show.
Let's get it on.
That drop is like continuously changing. Okay, so I told you I wanted to show you something.
All right, you did, but I'm ready for it.
Okay,
Mr. Bob Ross is ready for it.
Have you ever seen, do you ever watch You watch what's it called? Every year at the beginning of the season, Hard Knocks.
No.
You never watch it?
I watched. No.
Not really.
I really haven't watched Hard Knocks.
Oh, okay. Well, Hard Knocks, they just basically it's a pretty cool show, but they.
I know what it's about.
For people who don't know, they basically follow like trash teams or teams that are trying to rebuild, stuff like that. A lot of times.
The Dolphins were on there.
Yeah, no shit.
Steelers are gonna be on there next year.
They might.
Go ahead.
But so like 2 years ago they did on the Browns. This past year they did on the Raiders. We had the whole Antonio Brown saga this past year. But there's some fun there. Jarvis Landry actually got into a fight in the middle of one of the episodes towards the end. And it's not exactly the fight. Let me just show you it, I guess, first.
Maybe I've seen this. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on.
Whoa. Whoa, what was that?
I edited this clip. Wait, hold on.
Mike.
There you go, now finish. Here we go. Stay up, stay up.
I've seen that.
See, yeah, he like threw the football at him. There's one part where he's just like, man, you ain't even hard. Listen, he's like, you're not even hard. Look at him flexing. You was not hard. Which I want to start telling people. You was not hard. You was flaccid as fuck. But it's just the ending of this that's really funny. Then
he threw the ball. He threw the ball at him. The whole time I see it coming because Juice coming on the slant. T. Mitch chasing behind him. I just move out the way. He trip up. I said, oh, he getting up swinging.
it seems so silly to me when people like are punching each other with helmets on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to be smart collectively as a team. We got to be smart.
Play with him, Corco.
Bro, I understand. I'm just saying we gotta be smart. We need you. We don't need you breaking your hand. You don't need him breaking his hand. None of that.
Nah, we can get the gang of orange guys on him. Nah, hey, we can handle some stuff.
There's testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the fuck it is. Testosterone. Fuckers ready to go today.
That testosterone.
I like it.
So if you don't know, he's trying to say testosterone. He doesn't know the word testosterone.
Kind of like testosterone.
Testosterone.
So whatever it's called.
So I pulled together.
There's testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the fuck it is.
Sounds like a meal.
It sounds like what?
Italian meal. Can I have the testosterone?
It's not even what he said. He says like even worse than that. But yeah, so I pulled those clips together. If we ever see anybody fighting on the field, we can drop that on there.
Yeah, next time you're at a bar and everyone's arguing, hey, this testosterone out here needs to
Yo,
calm
the
down.
shasharon. He says shasharon.
People are like, what is this dude talking about? It might stop the fight, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. I meant to put that together a long time ago, but I didn't.
All right.
But yeah, let's get started.
It took you 33 episodes, but you got it. You want to recap that Thursday night game for us? Or lack thereof?
Yeah, let's do that.
Thereof? Did you watch most of it?
Yeah, I did.
I watched a little bit of it. All I can say is my takeaway is Case Keenum, please come back. Because Dwayne Haskins is...
This is the thing. Dwayne Haskins will take sacks like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then he'll take a 15-yard loss.
Yeah,
he did it like 4 times. Or maybe like 3, but yeah.
I think he's had more interceptions than completions. It's pretty close.
I mean, yeah,
it's pretty close.
It's just like one of those things where he's not ready. Case Keenum, dude, like Case Keenum knows he played for the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings know him, but he knows them.
But yeah, I mean, if you know, you have to know somewhat of schemes and stuff like that. Like, yeah, stuff changes, but
they had a shot at actually winning that game if Dwayne Haskins didn't go down. I mean, I'm not saying they would have won, but they had a shot. I mean, they only lost 9-19.
The highest spread was 10 points, I think, at any given time. They didn't have like a 2-score lead ever.
Yeah, and I mean, once Dwayne Haskins went in, it was like the offense just stopped completely. It was kind of like
3rd and outs, and then taking sacks for it was like 4th and fucking
26.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I have like Terry McLaurin in a lot of leagues, and I was like, all right, he's 4 for 39. I was like, I'm gonna go back to work, handle my shit. He'll probably get me like, at least 6 for 70, something like that.
Yeah.
I look at the thing after work, and I'm like, dude,
He didn't get anything
4
else.
for 39
Right.
to get still. And I'm like, and then I saw that Dwayne Haskins came in, and I was like,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, if you're any kind of Redskins offense owner, you kind of, whether it's McLaurin or you have, let's just say your guy playing AP, or you're in a pinch and you're starting Smallwood, like you're hoping Case Keenum comes back, because without him, the offense is not. I don't think it's going to move very much. They would probably, if like Haskins was out there, they would have lost to the Dolphins, for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Haskins-led Redskins are probably the worst team. There's some bad teams this year.
There is some. You know what it is? There's like 4 teams that are all not doing good.
Yeah.
And then and there's a lot of. It's just the whole AFC. The NFC. I
NFC
feel bad for NFC like middle tier teams, because middle tier NFC teams are way better than like some of the better AFC teams.
Yeah, they'd probably like be like in second place in their divisions or first.
Yeah. I mean, we're in second and we have a negative record right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Vikings side, I mean, Kirk Cousins didn't have or AP was 14 for like 71 yards. Decent little game for AP. He didn't score.
Yeah.
I think he had a catch or 2. Did he have a catch or 2?
Yeah.
An okay game. I mean, I think when you were starting AP, if you were starting him, it was more of like a shit, I need to start AP. So if he got you, stick with 7.
He didn't dog you.
Yeah, he didn't screw you. So
Yeah.
like, I'm in a situation where I need a running back this week, and I'm picking up Benny Snell. Like, if I would have had AP, that would have been like, all right, he got me 7-8 points.
Yeah.
So cool with that.
I like it.
I like it.
He says that at the end, by the way, too.
I like it. Terry McLaurin, I guess he was looking good in that first half, and then it just all went to poo-poo.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, Vikings, Stephon Diggs balled out. Kirk Cousins.
Seems like he's the only person they have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a solid wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, him and Thielen might be the most talented like 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
It kind of shows you though that if Diggs was ever traded, like if they would have traded Diggs, I mean, you could see what he can do, and he's like the pure one. He could be a
He can break away.
Yeah, he could be a monster.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Juju.
Juju can finally go back. Actually, Diggs plays out. No, Thielen plays out a slot, huh?
Yeah, he plays more in the slot. They both go in the slot, but he does a little more.
Yeah.
And then Kirk Cousins, I know he didn't have a big fantasy day, but he looked good. 23 for 25 or 22 for 25. I think 2 of his 3 incompletions were like throwaways. He basically was perfect game. He just, in the red zone, they were running like screenplays, and he kept getting sacked on them, or they'd run something stupid and he'd take a sack in the red zone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he could have had a bigger day. Dalvin Cook, that was Dalvin Cook. Yeah, he was cooking.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook is really fucking good.
He did.
Who do you think's like talent-wise? Who do you think is better, Cook or Le'Veon Bell? Just for sake of argument, I'm just curious.
At this point in their careers, Cook.
Yeah.
Primetime Bell versus Cook. That's hard to say because it's like Cook's done it for 8 weeks. Bell did it for years. So I'd say,
I don't know. I watched both of them and I'm like, damn, dude. They both impressed me.
yeah. Sometimes it's hard to make those arguments with a quarterback or receiver, or because it's like the offense and the scheme and the situation could like.
Yeah, I'm more talking like pure talent-wise.
Yeah.
But I was just talking to a couple of people recently.
It's pretty close. If Cook
Yeah.
keeps this up for another year or two, I'd say like right now in their careers, I think Cook. But I said primetime Le'Veon Bell. That's a pretty close one.
Yeah.
I would take either or.
Interesting.
Interessante.
But yeah, Kirk Cousins didn't really do that great for fantasy-wise, but like
For
you said,
NFL wise, he was legit.
like you said, yeah. All right, you want to start breaking down these games?
Whoop. Yep. Let's get it.
All right.
I like it. I fucking like it.
You want to go with the first matchup?
Yeah, let's. We're gonna start with the Detroit Lions are playing in Detroit against the New York Giants. The Lions are favored by 6.5 points. The over/under is 49.5.
I feel like it's not. Oh, I was thinking. I don't know why I heard Giants and I thought San Francisco. I was thinking baseball. I was like, that's kind of a lot for the San Francisco Giants.
A lot of points again.
It's a lot of points right there.
Yeah.
We could start on that Detroit side of the ball. Matthew Stafford, huge week last week, blow up week
Yeah.
in a sense. Especially if he had like bonus points. I think he was probably putting up like 40 points in like bonus point leagues, but 4 touchdowns. I believe 300 yards plus. Start him again.
Yeah.
The New York Giants, their defense is no good. It's a primetime. It's a nice matchup for Matthew Stafford. They're 7-point favorites. The thing with Stafford, I was kind of talking with Tyler a little bit in the kitchen. Tyler's not here if you guys haven't noticed.
Oh yeah.
He's
It's just us.
well, Pups did DMT last week, and now they've both went to ayahuasca together. Pups is like, bro, we're going.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not here.
Pups is just out here doing drugs.
Pups is just hippie to the max.
He's more hippie than your Bob Ross wig.
Bro, no one's more hippie than Bob Ross. Right? Who was talking about Matt Stafford?
Yeah, I don't mind playing him again. I picked up Matt Stafford because I had a bye with somebody I can't remember. But yeah, light him up again. Obviously the running back.
Well, yes, that's what I was saying. Sorry. Is that with no Kerryon Johnson there? They've been a pretty balanced team so far. I know in the offseason the narrative was we're gonna run the ball, run a heavy offense, but it's been actually a balanced offense. They're middle of the road in rushing attempts, they're middle of the road in passing attempts. But I think what the Kerryon Johnson injury does is it's gonna make the offense go a little bit more on the pass heavy side of that.
Yeah.
The offensive scheme, maybe they go for, I think they were 58% or 59%. Maybe they jump up to 64%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that could be 5-6 attempts a game, and that's 5-6 targets that could go to Marvin Jones or the tight end position or Kenny Golladay. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but at the end of the day, it can be a lot.
Right, it adds up. With the running backs, so everybody rushed to get Ty Johnson.
Yeah.
Obviously, he seemed like the number one waiver wire ad this week. I ended up. I don't think I got Ty Johnson in one league just because
people bid a lot on him.
Yeah, people put a lot on him, and you know what, man? I picked up J.D. McKissick in those leagues, and I do think it's gonna be a split offense. I think you can start as a flex play, start J.D. McKissick against the Giants this week.
Yeah, because it's a good matchup.
I think obviously you're gonna start Ty Johnson, but I think I don't mind if you throw J.D. in too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If you're in like a pinch situation, he's going to get some targets. He's going to get a few carries. It's a good matchup for the running back position as a whole. I mean, Ty Johnson is like breakaway speed. I think he ran like a 4.2, or he was like under 4.3, or he was like a flat 4.3. So if he can get a hole and he can get going, that boy's gone.
Yeah.
Ain't no one catching him.
Got another Johnson. Yeah, I lost David Johnson and Kerryon Johnson last week pretty much. I mean, I know David Johnson's still a game time, but
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, at least you still have him for some more weeks.
Yeah.
That sucks to lose the Johnsons. Some of the Johnson going on.
There's a lot of Johnsons going on.
Running backs, receivers. You're starting Kenny Golladay. I like firing up against Marvin Jones again. I was looking at some in-depth statistics on the cornerback position. So there's people like, oh, Marvin Jones is, he's big week. You don't chase the points, but he's also going against Janoris Jenkins. You hear the name Janoris Jenkins, you're like, oh, he's a good cornerback. He's getting targeted about 28% of the time. So let's translate that backwards. When you have a receiver that's getting targeted 28% of the time, you have a receiver that's basically Julio Jones, Mike Thomas. I'm trying to give some like perspective to people, to listeners. So he's being targeted on about almost 30% of the team's targets, and that's actually who Marvin Jones faces up against. So I think Marvin Jones is primed for another good matchup. Kenny Golladay as well, another good matchup. So I think you fire both those guys up as wide receiver 2s in this matchup. And I think Stafford throws for another possibly three, like a 3 touchdown game wouldn't surprise me. Maybe even a 4 wouldn't surprise me again. So, both those guys can get in the end zone. Kind of with that said, too, I just can go over to T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, I know he's been up and down. I know he just drops touchdowns like.
It's a hard.
I mean, if you're in that tight end situation, like it's a good game script for Matthew Stafford. They should be able to throw over the Giants. I mean, I don't hate it as a tight end start. He's been inconsistent, but it's not the worst tight end start in the world.
Right.
It's kind of like last week I played Eric Ebron because I found a matchup where I was like, okay, maybe I can get like lucky because that's what it came down to. Like if someone was like, oh, nice start there, Ebron, I would have legit been like, nah, I was just fucking hoping I got lucky that the game script worked in the favor and he got in the end zone. And it did happen that way. It wasn't like I was like, yeah, he's primed for a big matchup. It was like, nah, bro, I just got lucky. So I kind of think, somewhat similar start right there with Hakasan this week. He could have 50 yards and a touchdown.
Hakasan.
DJ Hakasan.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the tight end landscape, like you said, it's so rough that, I'm not mad at it.
And then
Fuck it, send it in.
Can you hear all that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, cool.
It's quiet in here.
Okay,
Too
good.
quiet.
Well, because you took your headphones off, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I can hear it. Detroit's defense, don't hate it. Danny Dimes, he stopped slinging that dick. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Ever since week 1. I started him last week. Luckily, I got the W, but
Well, I don't know. I mean, he is a rookie quarterback, so
Yeah. Well, they were saying too. It's like, yeah, he's struggling a little bit, but we're not going to bench him.
it's just part of it. You got to go through that.
Yeah. You got to go with your gut all the time. Or don't do it. Or sometimes go with your gut, but then be like, you know what, gut? I don't trust you because last week you screwed me. So I ain't listening to you.
Yeah. Do you play Daniel Jones though this week?
I'd be he's a 2 quarterback for me. 2,
Yeah.
like if you have double quarterback.
Quarterback flex league.
Yeah. Outside of that, he's outside of my top 12, 15. He's probably more in like that, back end QB too. Just haven't seen a consistency at all. It's hard to trust anyone that's not without consistency to me.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah,
We
dude,
can
it's
move
just
over.
science.
Detroit's defense, I don't hate it. 7-point favorites. Daniel Jones has made some interceptions. He makes mistakes. You can fuck with Detroit this week. Plus, Detroit's a hard ass city. I'm just saying. Everyone from Detroit apparently they beat ass.
They beat us,
They beat ass.
or they beat their own ass.
That too.
Okay,
And then we can go over to the Giants side.
let's do it.
Let's do it. Saquon,
Yeah.
you starting him?
Am I starting Saquon? Yes.
All right, start Saquon. Evan Ingram.
What about Wayne Gallman?
No.
Okay, don't listen to what we're saying. We're joking right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do
We're
not.
like, there's some sarcasm in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay.
If you can see if you're watching on YouTube, you can see our faces. You would know we're not serious.
Okay. Yeah,
And you would
yeah,
see the
thank you.
afro, and you would know we're not serious.
You look at the afro and you'd be like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. On the wide receiver side, I think Sterling Shepard was already ruled out, if I'm correct, for this week, right? All right.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, he's ruled out.
Yeah. Golden
So
Tate.
I like Golden Tate this week.
Yeah, I like
because
him in
of
this matchup. Not a, I know there's Darius Slay, but Golden Tate moves into the slot. Darius Slay has been playing average football. I think one thing we have to do is kind of like, you can't take the names year after year after year and just say, oh, he was a shutdown corner. But like you hear Josh Norman, he was a shutdown corner years ago. He's one of the worst corners in the league. Same with Xavier Rhodes. He's one of the worst corners in the league. He was getting manhandled by McLaurin until Haskins came in, and then it all ended. Sadness arises on Anthony's voice.
Like you said, Xavier Rhodes was. Do you like him?
Yeah, but it's like you'd like think. But I'm saying for like some people might think, oh, like the name Janoris Jenkins, oh, a tough matchup for so and so, or the name Darius Slay, oh, tough matchup. It's like you got to look at like where these guys kind of line up, and like I said, the names aren't the same anymore. It's like you look at the Packers side. The Packers have one of the top corners in the league, but you see the Packers, you're not gonna shy away from. They're like, oh, it's the Packers. I'm starting him, but I can't think of his name offhand. But he's legit one of the toughest corners to face in the league.
Right.
Just saying, bro. It's science. So Golden Tate we like in this matchup. I'm not starting like Slayton or anyone else. Are you?
No. Evan Ingram.
Yeah, we went over that, dude.
Oh yeah. That's it.
He's
But
big, dude.
Whenever Sterling, it seems when Sterling Shepard's out, Evan Ingram and Golden Tate just seem to be lighting it up. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that I mean. Not that I mean.
And then Giants defense, not starting Giants defense.
Hey, if you have the Giants defense, don't. You know what I mean? All right. Let's talk about. We want to move over. We'll talk about the Tennessee Titans playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Titans are favored by 2.5 points. It's in Tennessee. 45.5 point over under. What do you think about this game?
Who's starting the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans?
Mr. Tannehill.
Ryan fucking Tannehill, boy.
Does that
That's
get you
right.
going, dude?
Dude, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I don't hate Tannehill as a streaming quarterback this week.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have
I think
given
there's
up.
worse.
Well, there's definitely. I would start him over Daniel Jones, who we just talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Tyler are in a situation in a league we dual own, if that's the correct terminology. We have dual ownership in. And we have Kyler Murray and Carson Wentz, and we were considering trying to pick up Tannehill and stream over both those guys.
I'm not mad at that.
It's just the Tampa Bay Bucks, I think, they've given up, 380 yards through the air over the last, last like 4 or 5 games. We just saw Tannehill go for over 300 yards last week. And the thing with that game, too, is...
against the Bills, yeah.
The thing with that thing, too, is as Tampa Bay's run defense is no joke. They've shut down... I think, did you post that stat on the site, or did Tyler?
Oh, Tyler did.
Yeah, they've shut down. It's like they're the number 1 rushing defense on like yardage basis. And it's like the names they shut down are like, oh, yeah, they've played nobody. It's like, no, they shut down Christian McCaffrey. They shut down like Trying to think of some of the names.
They really have shut down everybody.
And there's some good names there. I think it might have been like not Zeke.
I think
Alvin Kamara was shut down. They've shut
think-
down like some of the top running backs.
I think it'd be
Saquon.
a bold move. Yeah, I think it would be a bold move to not play Derrick Henry, but I think it's sketchy enough to not do it.
He always has that. His range of possibilities is always that one play for 70 yards and a touchdown. But this week, I think the probability of that big touchdown is on the side of limited, and I think if they get in the one, he's going to get the ball. So that's what you got to hope for if you have Derrick Henry, which he has like 4 of those already. I think 4 of his 6 touchdowns are already on that. But with that said, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Derrick Henry's 18 carries for 25 yards this week. That would not surprise me.
Bold take.
He's done it plenty of times.
Yeah.
It's not bold because he's done it
Well,
like
Derrick Henry's been
7
pretty
times
decent this year.
because he's gotten in the end zone. But you look at some of his games.
Yeah, he's like a
20
to me, he's like a standard running back.
Yeah,
Like a standard
I would say at a standard, I'd be a little bit more scared of him this week with the matchup. He's had
Yeah.
plenty of games where he gets 18 carries for 40 yards, and then he gets in the end zone. So you're like, oh, okay, cool.
That's horny.
Done it time and time again. It's just saying it's a really tough matchup for him. I mean, you might not have a choice to you can't start him, and he has one of the highest touchdown upsides. So, yeah. I guess we move on to wide receivers. Corey Davis, I think he's wide receiver 3 this week. We saw him go for 6 for I believe 80 and a touchdown. AJ Brown wasn't a bad play last week either. I think he was 6 for 60 something off head. Kind of curious to see if Tando can carry both these guys into fantasy relevance going forward in good matchups.
I'm in a deep wide receiver league. I went ahead and picked up AJ Brown. I think he's just either one of these guys. I think it's gonna be. I do.
It could be a week-to-week thing that we see with like Thielen and Diggs. Maybe not to that extreme, but it's like we could have 2 guys, and 1 week it might be one has the bigger week and one has the other. We only have one matchup, so kind of hard to say it. But I mean, like I was saying last episode, it's like take the one you like more, and probability might be Corey Davis, but there's also the chance that AJ Brown has the bigger game. So.
Yeah. I like AJ Brown this week, mostly because I didn't get Corey Davis, but
I was like AJ Brown too. It's maybe just because I have him. Could be biased.
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Corey Davis is more talented, but AJ Brown's a little bit bigger, from my understanding.
He's a big dude.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Come back down with the ball.
Oh,
like Evans
you big boy.
Oh, you big boy. Oh, you big boy.
Tight ends, you got Delaney Walker or what's the other dude? Johnny Smith.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I forgot to say something when we were talking about the Vikings, but that's all right.
Just say it.
But it was just that tight end Irv Smith is pretty interesting. He's been lining up more. They like him there. And Dynasty League, deep ad.
Did Delaney get hurt? Because Delaney ran 8% of snaps last week. I'm trying to think of offhead.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm on the Instagram live, and everybody's just writing.
They're writing stupid shit.
Yeah, talking about what's on top of your lip, all this shit.
Are you on our Instagram live?
Yeah.
So I can log in too.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You can't write. You can't be on there.
I can log in from my account.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah,
Let's keep going.
I'm probably not starting either of these tight ends unless, I don't know, I'd probably stream someone like Cameron Brate, who's no Jordan Howard this week. That's why I'd look to pick up. Yeah.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah, he's out this week.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay.
saying I'd rather pick up someone like Cameron Brate and stream them if I could over like the Titans tight end situation.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Tennessee's defense, I mean, I think we said it last time someone's played Tampa Bay. You
It's
could
a
either
gamble.
you could get 25 points or you could get -4.
Yeah.
And it's like, which Jameis is it going to be? So
If you're in a league where you can't get negative points for defense, I'm not mad at it. Jesus. We're running a professional fucking thing here. Yeah, but if you can't get negative points, I wouldn't mind playing the Titans defense. It's like you said, it's whether or not Jameis Winston's throwing the game or not.
Agreed.
Whether or not you're going to get some points. We can move over to the Tampa Bay side of the ball. Are you playing Jameis Winston? Can Ryan Fitzpatrick come back?
I'd like to think they had a bye week and they've maybe straightened some stuff out. I mean, he still has weapons. I mean, even in the game where he threw 5 picks, he still had like 14 points or 12 points because he still threw for 400 yards and had a touchdown or 2. So it's like I would still start him in some, but I would still start guys like Matthew Stafford over him. I would have started Kirk Cousins over him. I'm trying to think of some of those middle tier names. Josh Allen's a name I would start over him. he's someone where I'm like, I'm not going to an ugly situation where I'm trying to get too cute and start someone, but it's like he always has that weekly upside. So, but he also has that weekly downside. So it's, kind of, do you want to roll the dice or do you not?
Right.
And sometimes when you roll those dice, they hit 7. Sometimes they hit double 1.
And you know what, dude? That's fucking horny, dude.
Yeah, Mike's trying to. If you don't know, Mike's trying to coin the phrase "horny." Instead of saying like tight or cool or like, he's like, dude, that's horny.
Yeah, because it is pretty horny.
I'm with it. Let's do it. Wide receivers, you're starting Godwin, you're starting Mike Evans. Cameron Brate, I just mentioned his name actually right before that unintentionally. Might be a decent start this week. He has better stats than OJ Howard, and OJ Howard is not there this week, so. I don't mind OJ Howard this week as a play. Or not OJ Howard, Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I like that drop.
I fucking like it.
Oh, I cut that one too short. What do we got next?
We got the Chicago Bears against the LA Chargers. Good thing it
It's
says
so
LA right there, because if it just says Chargers, I would have said San Diego. I was literally coming out of my mouth. I was like, and the LA Chargers.
Yeah, so for we'll start on Chicago. It's Bears are favored by 3.5. It's in Chicago. Over under 41. We'll start with the who's starting? Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. He just hasn't looked good at all so far.
I think they're regretting trading up for Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, because they could have had who was it? Pat Mahomes. They could have had Deshaun Watson. Dude, that GM should be fired. He should just be like, hey, like. They should just walk up on the bye week. Hey, remember when you wanted us to trade up for a quarterback? Yeah. Remember when there was Pat Mahomes there? Yeah. Remember Deshaun Watson there? And you took fucking Mitch Trubisky. You're fired.
I mean, he really is. He does ruin the team. It's like drafting our third string. Our third string quarterback does decent. Does just as good. Or Mason. I don't know.
Your third string quarterback?
Yeah, Devlin
your
Hodges.
Third string quarterback's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not that
So
good.
your second. You just steal.
Mason Rudolph is not that bad.
I mean,
it's not that good.
He's definitely not good so far. It's only been one game. I'm not going to write him off of one game. So, but yeah. What were we talking about? Mitch Trubisky, 2 quarterback leagues for me. I'm probably not starting him in a 1 quarterback league unless I would start Jameis over Trubisky. That's something we just talked about. I would start Ryan Tannehill over Trubisky. Detroit, I'd start Matthew Stafford. Danny Dimes, pull the trigger. It's a 1 quarterback league. Pull it. Blow my fro straight off. David Montgomery, he's interesting because he, as of so far, is
like Tyler wrote. He's been busting.
Yeah, I was looking at some
load like a 13-year-old teenage boy.
I was looking at some statistical metrics on him, and he's just his college thing was he was breaking a lot of tackles, making a lot of people miss. He's just not doing that at the NFL level right now. He has 1 breakaway run, which on 100 and something attempts, which means a breakaway run is where he gets like over 20 yards. So he has 1 big gain. His missed tackle, his yards after contact, his juke rate, it's all just middle of the road or below average. So unless the coach feeds him, that like he said, he basically said, I'm not an idiot. I know we need to run the ball, even though you're the fucking coach. So what's
I'm
up with
not
that,
an
bro?
idiot. But then
I need to run the ball.
He's not doing it.
Even though he's not doing it, then Montgomery could have a good game, but he's just a really risky play in my eyes.
Yeah, I think every time you're running risk by playing him.
I'm probably benching him more than likely. Like I have a situation where I have him and I'm looking for a waiver wire running back. That's how like little trust I have in him right now.
I mean, there's a lot of guys like that. Like I've been benching Juju. I've been benching. For a little bit, I was benching Stephon Diggs until
not recently.
Until not recently.
I mean, if you want to win, you gotta you can't just tie yourself to the names.
You really can't.
Shit changes year
or
after year.
when you drafted him. I mean, it was shitty. I benched Juju and put Stephon Diggs in it like 2 weeks ago.
It felt shitty probably when you did it, but then at the end of the week, you were like, yes.
Yeah, that's super horny.
It's like a name I can think of off head is I would start James White over David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just thinking off ahead. Wide receiver side, we can move on about that. I mean, David Montgomery he's kind of more of a desperate play for me in this week, and you're hoping for an end zone or squeaky wheel gets the grease.
How about Tariq Cohen?
I mean, I don't know. That offense is just not looking good right now.
Yeah.
PPR, I consider Cohen. Outside of that, standard, I'm staying away. It's like these are those desperation type of running backs right now with Chicago, which we thought this was going to be a better backfield, but dude, it's not.
It's not been looking good.
Wide receiver position, Allen Robinson and Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
I'm starting him twice. Can I do that?
That's
Because he is the third. So can I split him in half?
It doesn't make sense how he's been doing anything. I like with this offense.
It's
Maybe they're just always playing from behind. I don't know what it is, but
I mean, they've won a few games. It's just he's the heavily targeted guy. I mean, he's got some talent. He looks like he's a year off that ACL, and he looks faster. He looks better.
Yeah.
He looks like that old Robinson that was like a 1,500-yard guy. I mean, he's not that guy, but I mean, he's pretty consistent on a week-to-week basis. He's getting 7-8 targets. I'm trying to pull him up right now. Let me see real quick. Looking at his target share right now. Yeah, 16, 8, 7, 7, 7, 13. So you're getting at least a baseline of 7 targets. So, I mean, you got to like that from
13 targets is pretty insane.
16, too, a week ago.
Yeah.
So you got to like that. Anthony Miller is a name to keep an eye on as someone who's gotten 7, 9 targets the last 2 weeks. He's someone maybe if you have a space, add him right now. And then if he has another high target week, maybe we can be talking about him as a flex receiver going forward. Trey Burton. Nah. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Bears defense.
Trey
I don't mind
Burton
it.
was probably a pretty big bust too. Just
Yeah.
don't trust anybody going to the Bears.
Yeah.
That-
Bears defense. I don't mind the play this week. The Chargers line hasn't been looking that good. They're supposed to get their left tackle back, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Right.
I'm not a rocket science.
Yeah. I
Scientist.
think Bears defense is a pretty safe play for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing like the Patriots or something.
Yeah, and then you got the running game in flux. I guess we could just jump on over to that. To the Chargers side, Phillip Rivers. I'm probably staying away from Phillip Rivers this week. Tough matchup for him. They're at Chicago or I can't see. I'm blind.
Yeah, it's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Chicago. Tough matchup for Phillip Rivers this week. I would start like Jameis is a guy I would go over with Phillip Rivers this week.
James Winston.
Jameis Winston. I don't know what other Jameis.
You just said that really fast. You're like,
It's the Winston of Jameis.
The Winston.
The Winston of Jameis is who I would start over him.
Yeah, against the Bears defense. Yeah.
Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler. Yuck.
I will say that running backs have been doing better against
They have
Chicago
been
than
since
you
they
would
lost
think.
their D tackle. It's been pretty bad, but the Chargers have been struggling. I was joking with the Yuck, but it's like kind of like it just Yuck, like it sucks that you're in this situation. Where
Oh,
it's
right.
Like you have Eckler, who was like a monster. You have Gordon, who was a monster last year. Now it's like Eckler's not getting any carries. Gordon's getting them all. He's not doing much with them. He's getting all the work. Eckler's getting passing work, which he's saving his.
Yeah,
saving
in
his days
PPR,
with.
I think it's safer to play Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
I just traded Melvin Gordon for Odell.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If I had Melvin Gordon.
Yeah. And I picked up Melvin Gordon somehow in that league, so I still have Eckler. But yeah, I just was because I had both of them, and I was kept getting put into the spot where Melvin Gordon's getting the work, and so I felt obligated to play him. So I like benched Austin Eckler. It just became a whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's rough. I play Austin Eckler if anybody.
Yeah, same here. I'd actually choose Eckler over Gordon, as crazy as that sounds to say.
It does sound crazy, but you just got to go with what the numbers are, and that's what's been happening, and I'm just going to stick with that.
Dude, because the numbers, they say how it is.
The women lie, men lie, but these numbers
Numbers are like
numbers
those.
don't
Numbers
lie.
will tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. The big brother.
I mean, there is the argument, though, that because he's getting more work, it's going to show up, but he just hasn't been doing anything with what he's got. Will it surprise me if Melvin Gordon does really well this week? No. But if I think somebody's going to get it, it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Who's going to get it?
Austin Eckler.
One of these days, Mike.
How about Hunter Henry?
One of these days, you're going to get it. Yeah, you're starting Hunter Henry. It's not even a question. He's been, I think, 80-plus yards back-to-back games, right? What do you have last week?
Hunter Henry been doing good.
Yeah, he's
since
good.
He came back.
Chargers defense, no go. Not so much on that. Keenan Allen's kind of he popped up on the injury report.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to monitor that.
I think he's been limited participation. I can pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, if he's out, Mike Williams gets a bump. If he's there, I still don't hate Mike Williams. Teams have been able to get some passing yardage and production against Chicago's defense, as scary as they normally sound. they're not the same defense as last year. So still don't hate Mike Williams. He's been pretty consistent throughout the season. And if there's no Keenan Allen, I like Mike Williams as a wide receiver 3 this week.
Yeah.
We can move on to the Seattle-Atlanta game. Seattle.
We got 2 birds.
Face to
2
face.
birds.
Who
It's
would win
the
the fight?
bird off.
A Falcon or a Seahawk?
You
I almost said a Seattle.
A Falcon, dude. Come on.
Yeah, Falcon would fuck it up.
I was listening to this podcast, or I was watching it once, and the guy was making fun of the guy had like on like in those leather bracelets,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck's up with that goddamn bracelet?" And he's like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "Hey, what are you waiting for? A fucking falcon to land on your goddamn arm?"
Like some guys wearing some jewelry.
It was like some or like rock band jewelry, you know, like
Yeah.
like a fucking leather wristband, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You look like you get a falcon about to land on your arm."
It's pretty funny.
He was all butthurt. It's really funny.
The Seattle side of the ball, Russell Wilson, you start firing him up. Chris Carson, you're firing him up. Tyler Lockett, you're firing him up. Will Dissly, RIP.
R.I.P. Okay, so if you had Will Dissly, and I've been in this situation where I picked up Luke Wilson, just to see if maybe he got the same type of targets, or if they're gonna try and involve him more. I'm in a situation where I don't know if I should drop him or if I should just keep him around. I think he's a guy that you can just keep on your bench because maybe they're just getting him used to being involved. I don't know. I just couldn't imagine you got a tight end involved so much, and then you're not going to get another passing tight end involved at all.
Yeah, I mean, he split snaps last week with a guy named Jacob Hollister, owner of Hollister. He's also, Hollister has the birds. That's why he went to Seattle, for that reason, on their shirts.
Jesus
Does
Christ.
Hollister still have birds? I haven't been there at a store in 20 years.
A Hollister store?
But yeah, and Hollister actually saw
I
more
think
targets.
Hollister isn't a thing anymore.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I was like, it might not be. But he saw 6 targets to 2 targets last week, so it was a little bit more favor in the Hollister side of the.
Maybe he doesn't have.
Testosterone, whatever the fuck it is.
He's got that long ass hair, so maybe he doesn't have testosterone.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have.
Testosterone.
Dude, am I the only one who thinks it's hilarious, dude? I think it's so fucking funny.
I think it's funny.
Shish around. Yeah. Anyways,
DK Metcalf, I don't mind this week. I know you like him most weeks. So do you like him this week?
yeah, against Falcons. Falcons just can't fucking get a defense together to save their lives.
Yeah,
They're
they're like the Hunter Falcons. They just go straight offense. They're not there to defend the nest. All right, these are just fucking hunting Falcons.
They're the male Falcons.
These are all male Falcons.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, you know what? Fuck the nest. That's your job. All right, I'm out here hunting shit.
I agree.
You know, we're out here scoring points. We just lost one of our Falcons to the Patriots, okay? So we don't want to hear this goddamn shit. We're hunting. We don't play defense.
I agree.
Leave it to me for more Animal Planet references. Yeah, I don't mind DK Metcalf this week. The opportunity is good. Falcons defense is bad. High snap rate. You know, seeing some decent targets and, 44 yards, 69, 53 yards is the last 3 games. I'm talking 100 miles an hour, but, good matchup for him this week.
Yeah, I like it.
We can move over to the Atlanta Falcons side of the ball. Matt Ryan's still questionable, or was he? It's like changing every. Like he's practicing, then he's not practicing, then he's questionable, then he's doubtful, and then if you want to look up the latest on him with that, if he plays, I mean, you're still starting Julio Jones. You're now with Sanu gone, I think you still start Calvin Ridley even if he's not there. That team just has to throw the ball so much. And Matt Schaub went in there and he did okay last week. He's serviceable. He's a veteran. Austin Hooper, you're still playing. Devontae Freeman's kind of that low end too without Matt Ryan. But if Matt Ryan's there, it's Falcons offense is the same as always.
Yeah.
Did you find anything on him?
Questionable. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll just keep questioning later in the week. But I think you still start your studs.
Just
basically.
keep an eye
You still
on
start
that.
your studs in this matchup is what it comes down to. It's in Atlanta too.
He did not practice, but he did. He was limited participation today. Didn't practice the rest of the week. So, not looking good. Maybe go pick up Ryan Tannehill if you have Matt Ryan
Yeah.
as your only quarterback.
Not bad. And then I think it was Atlanta receivers, tight ends. Yeah, Atlanta's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Now with Sanu gone, it's pretty simple.
Calvin. Do you play Calvin?
Yeah, you play Calvin.
Yeah.
Even with Matt Schaub, but it's high over under. It's in Atlanta. They're gonna throw the ball a ton again because that offense. I mean, that defense. They're on the hunt. We just said it. So with Sanu's 6.5 targets per game, I don't really see Hooper's target share going up too much because it's already high as it is. Julio Jones has a high target share. I think the benefactor is going to be Calvin Ridley and another wide receiver and the running backs possibly a little bit.
Right.
I think it's just going to make Calvin Ridley a little bit more consistent, where it's like he would have a little bit more boom bust, but now it's going to be like boom and then maybe safe game still, where it's not so much of the up and down. It's going to be like safe floor. The boom games will still come,
Right.
Especially once Matt Ryan's there. So hope for Matt Ryan too.
Yeah.
Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 6.5 point favorites against them New York Jets. 41 point over under. Jacksonville side. Minshew, jockstrap, pull it, slang it, bring it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it against the Jets. The Jets they've not been playing good defense. I mean, I know they played the Patriots last week, so that's kind of skewed. But I'm just trying to look up their numbers against quarterbacks.
You really have to delete that stat, like against the Patriots.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. I know they like.
No, but I'm just saying in general. Like you just whenever anybody plays the Jets, it totally fucks up, or the Patriots, it totally fucks up all their statistics.
Yeah, I mean he was.
Yeah, they did not look good against.
He had
Patriots.
5 red zone trips, Minshew, last week, and he didn't throw a touchdown. Yeah, he's just been pretty safe overall. I mean, I don't love the play. Like I've said, I haven't loved him as a starter, but I've liked him as a starter on a weekly basis where it's like, all right, he's going to go out there, he's going to get me a solid game. Probably not going to lose me the week, but I just know I'm not going to get a dud.
Right.
Leonard Fournette, fire him up. He's due for like a 2 touchdown game. This might be it, calling it. I just need him in a lot of leagues. That could be biased.
Leonard Fournette.
Just kidding. It's like you have 700 yards in the ground and as many carries as he has, and 1 touchdown. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's like that's due for some regression. Like the ball's going to land inside the 5, a little bit more here and there.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of their red zones, and the ball is always at the 12, and then they get to like, they'll run it, and they'll get to like the 7, and then they'll get to the 4, and it's like, oh, well, field goal. They probably have more field goals inside the 25 than any other team. I can almost bet that. I'll look it up after the show, but I can almost bet that.
Someone's just like give it to him on 4th. I think they did earlier in the season, to be honest.
They did, I think, and I think he got stuffed.
Yeah.
Well, he only has 1 touchdown, so he definitely got stuffed.
For sure.
DJ Chark and Westbrook. I mean, I feel like you can start both these guys on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah. Would you
Westbrook's
play
actually
Golden Tate or DJ Chark? I'm going Tate. I just think there's a lot of situations like that. Because Chark you picked up.
Floor
Golden
play Tate, upside Chark.
Interesting.
I'm just building shit out here, floors and ceilings.
Bro, floors and ceilings, dude. Hey, I'll get the walls. Oh.
Standard, I'd probably lean on Chark. PPR, I'd probably actually lean Tate. So it's kind of format with those two. Because Chark isn't catching a lot of balls, he's just making big plays and he's scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Right.
Versus where Tate's going to get the higher guaranteed targets, a little bit more of a PPR situation. And then Westbrook's been pretty solid. He's actually out-targeted Chark slightly over the last 5 games. They've been pretty neck and neck. But, I mean, Westbrook just hasn't scored a touchdown. He's due to get in the end zone. Like I'm saying, as of late, he hasn't scored.
Right.
And he's been pretty safe in the PPR aspect. PPR, point per reception.
PPR? Yeah. I think both of them are kind of wide receiver 2 flex plays, wide receiver 3 flex plays.
Yeah. And then we'll go over to the tight ends now.
J.J. O'Shaughnessy?
No.
James O'Shaughnessy?
No.
Okay,
Jaguars defense, they're playing okay. It's one of those defenses where it's like middle of the road. Anything can happen. It's at Jacksonville.
They just, I think they lost Jalen Ramsey.
They've lost some pieces. The run D's not bad. They can get some sacks and some turnovers.
I
but
think
it's like,
the Jets, although they just got smacked by the Patriots, I don't think that the Jaguars are just going to run in there and roll them over. I actually kind of almost like money line on the Jets on this.
Dude, do it. You won't.
Plus 240. Send it.
Send it. No flub.
Fuck it,
Jets side
send
of the
it
ball. Sam Darnold. Don't drop him if you have him.
Yeah.
I'll say that at least. I mean, it was last week they played the Patriots, who are just a good defense. And then Jacksonville's not that good of a defense this year. I don't know if I would love starting him, but the schedule going forward is real nice. I think it's Miami next week. Then it's like basically they get the schedule that the Patriots had the first 8 weeks. It's pretty close to that.
Yeah,
So
Jets
it's like-
schedule is pretty.
Yeah, they have a
does get
juicy
easier.
schedule going up next week. Robbie Anderson, you can start him in this matchup. Kind of boom bust type of wide receiver 3. I said I'd be holding Robbie. Well, he might get traded, so I don't know.
Someone just tried to send me Curtis Samuel for Robbie Anderson.
I mean, I guess it depends if Robbie Anderson gets traded or not, because they're shopping him. They said today, so it's like, does he go to a better situation? I don't know.
Where does the draft land? Have you ever seen when drafts fight each other with their necks?
Jamison Crowder, probably staying away from him in this matchup, although I do like him possibly going forward. Demaryius Thomas has been seeing some targets over the last 3 weeks, so he's a speculative ad. We're at him, and if Robbie Anderson gets traded with that schedule, he could be someone useful down the stretch.
Yeah. Is he a guy?
Dude, he's a guy. I met him in life. He's pretty cool.
Is he?
Yeah. He gave me $200.
Really?
Yeah. And then he's
I like
I
it.
like you.
I like it.
I can't ever gauge this.
I like it. I fucking like it.
He was like, come out with us tonight. We were drinking Patron.
I
at the
like
pool.
it. I fucking like it.
I cut that off too short. Yeah, he was drinking Patron.
Yeah.
Sick.
Sick. Chris Herndon, is he back this week?
He needs more.
Testosterone.
What were we talking about? Chris Herndon, is he back this week?
I think he's still questionable. I would still stick with him if you have him.
Yeah, don't
tight
drop him
end,
yet. If he
Tight
plays
end
this week,
landscape is so
I wouldn't
rough.
start him in the first week back because I think he's going to be on a snap count, so you got to account for that a little bit. Snap count, account for that. So I wouldn't start him his first week back, but like we just said, that schedule, Robbie Anderson goes.
He's doubtful.
Yeah, so he's probably out this week. So, yeah.
Don't
Jets,
drop him though. I
hold him. If you've been holding him, hold him. What the hell's one more week?
yeah.
Jets defense, you could fire. Don't fire them up. I mean, I wouldn't be starting him. It could be a run heavy script. Minshew's only thrown 1 or 2 interceptions the whole year. Not really a opportunistic matchup for them on the road. And then
Yeah.
we got the Buffalo Bills against the Philadelphia Eagles. This one is in Buffalo, with the Bills.
Favored 1.5 points.
1.5.
1.5 and the over-under is 43.5. So it's pretty close spread. It's almost like a pick 'em here.
Yeah, pretty much, basically.
I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so Buffalo Bills side, love Josh Allen this week. A lot of those quarterbacks where we've been like, I've done that noise. I would be starting Josh Allen over all those ehs. I'd start Josh Allen over Minshew.
Josh Allen's a pretty solid fantasy quarterback.
And the Philadelphia Eagles give up the most points to wide receivers, which means they give up a lot of points to quarterbacks. And they give up, I think, the most deep balls in the league, which is Josh Allen throws some of the most deep balls in the league. So you just
fire up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take your salt, you take your pepper, you put it together. I didn't even mean to rhyme right there. And you got Josh Allen. Superstar.
You got Josh Allener.
He's cooking points. He's seasoning shit.
That is
You know what his
fucking-
favorite seasoning is? Smoky brown. That's his favorite seasoning.
Seriously, yeah. If you have a little Josh Allen, Smokey Brown mix up, dude,
Hey, DFS players out there, Smokey, smoke him up.
smoke them up.
Got in the end zone. He got in the end zone last week, right, Smokey? Yeah, he scored last week. He's been consistent. We touched on this last week. Good matchup for him. Primetime matchup. Wide receiver 2 he has some boom potential in this matchup. Wouldn't surprise me if this is one of his best games of the year, if not his best game.
Woo! Let's see, dude. I hope so.
He's been
got him
consistent, but he hasn't
lined
had
up.
that 100 plus and 2 yet, and this could be the matchup where he gets it.
Yeah. He had a 123 and a touchdown in week 1.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
That's week 1?
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Well, he's due for 150 and 2. Let's see. With him, the Bill side, Philadelphia's got a pretty tough run D. I think you know what you're getting with Frank Gore. You're getting 10 to 15 carries. Singletary's getting worked in. Now he's back with the hamstring injury. I'm staying away from Singletary still, but I'm still okay starting. It's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
He's like in that AP range where it's like, okay, I'm going to start him. I know the matchup's not great. I know I'm getting carries. If he gets me 7 to 8, cool. If he gets in the end zone, I'm ecstatic.
What about Dawson Knox?
Dawson Knox.
Tight end.
Probably not.
Yeah. I would say too.
Yeah. I mean,
Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown of the day. Cut to Sunday.
that's how fantasy works.
Yeah.
100%, 200%. Start Dawson Knox just because I said that.
Or don't.
Or don't. Or do.
We can't lose on this advice.
It's up to you. You can be like,
Nah,
look,
I
we
would-
told you, bro. We're fucking. I told you
Bro,
that
that sounds-
Dawson Knox.
Oh my God, you sound like this guy.
I'm the only one in the industry telling you to start or not start Dawson Knox, but I back it up in both ways.
The Concheapsis will tell you. Guy fucking sucks. All right.
The Canuxus. That was stupid.
Yeah. Try again.
Debo.
Try again.
Cole Beasley, I don't hate either, too. Sorry, I forgot about the Beasles. Good matchup. He's had PPR, that wide receiver 3 we talk about sometimes, where you need a 3rd wide receiver. Pretty good floor in this matchup. Good matchup for Josh Allen, so don't hate the Beasles. The Philadelphia side.
Line them up.
Buffalo Bills defense, a pretty good defense. What do you feel about them?
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Their defense has been pretty good. I mean, the Cowboys just shut out the Eagles. Not shut them out, but
But they controlled them.
limited them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're kind of struggling
And
a
I
little bit.
think the Bills' defense is better than the Cowboys. So
Yeah, I heard this stat on ESPN where it's like the Bills, like you'd say the Bills are a good defense, right? They're like top 5 defenses. The
Yeah.
Patriots have 3 times more points than the Buffalo Bills do.
in fantasy,
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think it goes. The Patriots have like 160, and then the next amount of points is like the Niners with like 90, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's Niners are second.
Yeah,
Jesus.
with
It's nuts.
90, which is like almost a little more than half.
I got the Niners for free in like a league.
Yeah, I picked them up too, but
And like the Panthers are another D that's available. That was like for free. It's like that's what you're saying about don't draft a defense. It's like, or draft them late, like the Patriots. You
like
draft them
listen,
late.
you could get lucky and get the Patriots defense. But watch people are gonna draft
Next
the
year,
Patriot next
first
year. People
pick.
are gonna draft the
5th round, 4th round.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just not like
It's not gonna be
they're
the
not
same.
gonna get the same thing.
That
'Cause-
defensive coordinator's gonna get a job somewhere, guaranteed. He's gonna be a
Yeah.
head coach, or at least he's getting a job for sure.
Yeah.
The way their defense is played, that coordinator's getting a head coaching job somewhere.
Yeah, I can
So
see it.
he's gonna be gone. So there's chains. You know,
Washington?
Washington. Yeah, sorry, I forgot what I was saying. Who we got?
But yeah, I wouldn't mind the Bills' defense.
Yeah, I
also.
wouldn't mind him either.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I look at it logic like this: Cowboys' defense is not as good as the
Yeah.
Bills' defense. They just put up a bunch of points last week. I like it.
And then Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz. I mean, fuck.
Andy Dalton's twin brother,
Yeah.
more athletic twin
I
brother.
just don't love the Carson Wentz matchup this week. Josh Allen on the other side of the ball, I would definitely be starting over him. Trying to think of some names. I'd probably honestly go Ryan Tannehill over him. He just doesn't offer that rushing floor that he did 2 years ago. It just hasn't been there. It's a tough matchup against Buffalo at Buffalo. No Deshaun. I'd still be playing Jeffrey as like a wide receiver 3-2. You're still starting Ertz. The running back situation. Let me see. I mean, I'm playing. Jordan Howard's like in that RB3 mode where it's like I just said about Frank Gore. It's like you know the touches are there, you know it's going to get something, but it's a tough matchup where it's like this might not be the best game script for it, but if you're in a pinch, and that it's happening with the bye weeks going on,
Right.
and on the running backs going down too, there are people in pinches, and I think he's a safe like RB2-3, 60, 15, 16 carries, maybe a catch or two. It's going to be Jordan Howard's role. And then Miles Sanders, I feel like you need that big play out of him to get him to be useful as of right now. That's what we're seeing. And I think this is a game where it's going to be harder for him to make that big play. It still happen. But
Yeah, I think, like we always say, stay away from this running game. And if you listen to us a couple of podcasts ago when Jordan Howard had pretty good games, we talked about trying to get rid of him, trade him.
yeah. And we also talked about that it was good game scripts for that to happen too, where it's like they should be up, they should be winning. It should be a situation where sometimes we're right. A lot of times we're wrong, but sometimes we're right, boys and girls.
I'd say a lot of times we're wrong. We're not always wrong.
Nah, I'm just joking.
Okay.
But that's the fantasy football. You're right,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter how smart or think you are. We're all idiots.
Yeah. It's subjective.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's Ty Cesaro high today.
We have the next matchup, the LA Rams Got you doing it now.
It's kind of fun.
It's getting trendy, bro. Your thing is horny. My thing is the Rams thing.
Horny Rams, dude. Let's fucking
Dude,
put
you
them
want to fuck
together.
with some horny. Those Rams with a lot of testosterone. They will headbutt some shit. They'll go straight through a wall.
Fuck this mic up, dude. Bother myself.
It's in
Pussy.
London.
We got a Rams in London. Oh, we got Rams in London. London. Jared Goff. You playing Jared Goff against the Bengals? Yes.
Yes.
I would. What?
Nothing good.
Yeah, I would play Jared Goff against the Bengals. Easy matchup. Not bad. I love it.
Yeah, you're still starting Todd Gurley.
What's going? No Malcolm Brown. I don't think. I'm pretty sure Malcolm Brown is doubtful this week. Oh, Malcolm Brown is out this week. So obviously don't line him up. You might have picked up Darrell Henderson. Although Todd Gurley looks better recently. I think it's still good to have a little handcuff. Yeah, we can pause.
No, just finish these games up.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Anthony has to step out.
You, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's gonna go over these last matchups for you.
Let's throw up this.
You get to have all the fun you want.
I'm Rory. Okay, just me and you, listener. All right. So, hold on one sec. If you noticed a little break in the podcast, says Anthony had to step out, but I am still here for you. Your boy Mike is here. You know what people say when it's just me?
I fucking like it.
I gotta cut. I did that too.
I like it.
They like it. That's what they say. So I'm still gonna go. I think we left off on the Rams. So Rams side of the ball, we got quarterback Jared Goff. We're going up. Going up against the Bengals. So I like. Let me pull this up really fast. I like Jared Goff in this matchup. Let's just put it this way. The Bengals are not good. Let's say it nicely, okay? They are not good. The Rams are favored by 12.5. Jared Goff, I think, is going to light them up. I like it this week. Start them up. You know what they say when you light up Jared Goff?
I like it.
They like it. Running back situation, you got Todd Gurley, you got Darrell Henderson. Here's the thing is you got Malcolm Brown is out. Todd Gurley has been more himself lately. With Malcolm Brown out, I like it. I think you're playing Todd Gurley, especially in this matchup. It's almost ideal for him. Darrell Henderson's like maybe a flex play at this point, but don't expect much. It seems like it's the Todd Gurley show. Now, with the wide receivers, I think you got everybody in there. I think you light anybody up. I think everybody is going to be. Rams is one of the few teams that can actually just put stuff together with 3 wide receivers. I think you can start all of them: Cooks, Kupp, and Robert Woods. It's I like it. Gerald Everett, pretty much everybody on this offense. You can put Gerald Everett up. On defense, you do have Clay Matthews out. I think you have somebody else out, but that's like the main name. Yeah, you got a cornerback, but questionable. But yeah, so with that being said, yeah, listen, the Bengals have a guard, an offensive tackle are both questionable, and another offensive tackle with a concussion. He's out for this week. So that being said, I think Andy Dalton's going to be getting hurt by Aaron Donald this week. Okay, so Rams fucking light it up, baby. You know what? Oh, that was really loud. Sorry, guys. That's Aaron Donald over Andy Dalton right there. So stupid. All right. Let's see. Oh, Bengals side of the ball. Andy Dalton. Do not play Andy Dalton. You might be thinking, oh, they're going to be behind. Let's throw the ball. No, do not play Andy Dalton. It is not a good idea. I would not suggest it. With that being said, Joe Mixon, I think you're kind of in a spot where you feel like obligated to play him. But if you got better options, say Alvin Kamara ends up being out and you have Latavius Murray, dude, put Latavius Murray in for Joe Mixon. He just is not. They're not running the ball. They're not really getting him involved in the pass game. I'd be fading Joe Mixon in this if you have a better option. Now, on the Bengals side of the ball too, you got tight end Tyler Eifert. He had something going on earlier in the week. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but it doesn't look like he's going to be out. But I still would not be playing Tyler Eifert in here. I think the only safe play you have here is Tyler Boyd, just because he could have that big play ability. So I wouldn't mind that. But besides that, it's a little rough. I would not be playing Bengals defense in here unless you want negative points. Nobody wants that, okay? You know what people who play Bengals defense are not thinking?
I like it.
That's what they're not thinking. They're just saying.
Fuck it.
They just gave up on their entire fantasy year. Saints. Let's go on. Yeah, we'll move on to the next game. It's kind of simple, the Rams Bengals game. I think that's the London game. Let's see. Mommy. Yeah, that's the London game. So, London games are kind of screwy, but I don't think they're screwy enough to have the Rams lose to the Bengals. That would be pretty insane. Bengals could go defeated this whole year, I think. I think they could lose every game. They look almost as bad as the Dolphins. I think my buddies Tyler and Anthony would disagree. They would probably say the Dolphins are probably better, but actually they probably wouldn't. Anyways, let's go on to the last matchup. We got the New Orleans Saints are playing in New Orleans, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, against the Arizona Cardinals. The Saints are favored 10.5 points. It's a good amount of points. Over under 48. We'll start on the New Orleans side. You got Teddy Bridgewater. I don't mind Teddy Bridgewater in a pinch. I think he's more like a 2-quarterback league play. But he's got a good matchup this week. So if you're in a pinch, I don't mind it. There's worse. Maybe I would probably play Ryan Tannehill over him, in my opinion. But, we'll see. Running back situation. So right now for the running backs, you got Alvin Kamara is actually questionable again. So that it seems it might be a game time decision. We might know by the time this comes out. But if he's out, fucking light up Latavius Murray. I know Latavius Murray had a really good game last week. You might be thinking, oh, he's not going to do it again. I think he could. Latavius Murray is not that bad of a running back. I think he's kind of like when you have a backup quarterback that's a little bit experienced. Latavius Murray seems like that for running backs. He's gotten it done behind. He did some work in Minnesota. He actually did pretty good well in Oakland a while back. So yeah, I can see him doing it again. I'm kicking myself in the dick for dropping him early in the year, because now he's just lighting it up. So Kamara out, fucking light up Latavius Murray. So you got wide receiver Traquan Smith is out. Obviously and also tight end Jared Cook out. I wouldn't be lightening up. I wouldn't be putting any other tight end besides that out there. I'd be a little scared. Wide receiver Traquan Smith out. That doesn't really do much. I think Michael Thomas is kind of your guy you're going to be playing. He's just consistent week in and week out. Listen, you drafted him in the first round for a reason. Don't fucking put him on your bench, especially against the Cardinals. Even if he lines up against Patrick Peterson. Who gives a shit? Michael Thomas is a goddamn beast. He put up 18 receptions in a game before. That's pretty fucking insane. Saints defense. Yeah, that's a little sketch. I mean, it is in New Orleans. They are favored by a lot. Still sketchy to me. I'd be looking elsewhere. Now, We got on the Arizona side of the ball, we have Kyler Murray. I don't mind his matchup, but if you like, I'm in a situation where I have Kyler Murray and I have Josh Allen. I am putting Josh Allen out there against the Eagles. Eagles have a terrible pass defense. So in that type of situation, I'll be playing Josh Allen. But Kyler Murray, I think he had a rough game last week. But besides that, he's been pretty fucking consistent. I think they have a couple corners in New Orleans that are just not good. We have the classic slot corner, P.J. Williams, that we love to talk about. So, yeah, Kyler Murray, not bad. He's got the rushing upside every week, so love it. Not love it, but listen, you won't be completely disappointed. I think he has a safe floor. Now, running back situation, this has been rough. If you're a David Johnson owner, they haven't put him on IR or anything like that, but he is a game-time decision. He's questionable. He did not practice all week, and usually when people do not practice all week, they're not going to play. I mean, the week before, he practiced the entire week, and he ended up not playing. So that, although their other running back, DJ Foster, is out, I think they're going to maybe have him, even if they have him play. This is a rough one, but even if they have him play, man, I'm benching David Johnson. Even when he was supposedly in last week, it was rough. DJ Foster out. I think if anything they keep him active, it's just a depth move, just because they have DJ Foster for sure out. That being said, if you have Chase Edmonds, it seems it's trending in the way that he's going to be your guy. I like Chase Edmonds this week. He looks really good. He actually looks better than David Johnson at times. So I like it. Fucking light him up. Put him in. I'm saying light him up a lot. Maybe I got light bulbs on my mind. Let's go over to wide receivers. So we got I was trying to say questionable. Christian Kirk is questionable. I think maybe.
My fingers hurt.
Oh, Christian, is that what's going on? All right. Well, so he's questionable. I think that will also be a game time decision. We'll find that's based off of the Friday injury report. Look out for that. Now, that being said, I think Larry Fitzgerald is due for a big week. Larry usually lines up in the slot. Guess who else lines up in the slot? Our boy, P.J. Williams, slot corner for the New Orleans Saints. Fucking dude. You're not wrong by playing Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's been consistent enough. He's probably already in your lineup, but I would get excited for this game for Larry Fitzgerald to blow up. I wouldn't be surprised if he had over 100 yards this game. Bold call, baby. Let's see, tight end. What are you even talking about with tight ends over there? Where is this? Yeah, even they have Eli Apple, their cornerback. He was limited participation with a knee. None of them. They doesn't really show what they are, but based off of that, I think the Cardinals could put up a fight in this one. With the tight end. Oh wait, that's what I was gonna look at. They have a tight end that's questionable. Yeah, I think that's all we got for Cardinals. Light up Chase Edmonds. Check out for Christian Kirk. I wouldn't be looking at anybody like Andy Isabella, anything like that. Just Chase Edmonds. He's your guy. Seems that way. And so that's all we got for these matchups right here for the first matchups part 1, I guess you'd call it. Sorry we finished this slowly. It's not as exciting when there's just one of us, just your boy Daddy D talking. But that's all we got, baby. This has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. Thank you for listening. Just a couple of average bros with above average fantasy football knowledge. Just a couple, more like just one, apparently. I'm just going to start my own podcast, just me, that nobody will listen to. Sick! It's been the average. This is episode 33, season 2. matchups part 1. We just went over a bunch of games. So get ready for the next episode. You know what? We're going to be talking about a lot more games. So if you didn't hear your game in this one, go check out the next episode, Matchups Part 2. It'll be in that podcast episode. Cha. All right, baby. That is all I got for you. Give us a 5-star on Apple Podcasts. Download the Thrive Fantasy app. Don't put $10 in. You sign up using promo code AverageBros. And that's all I got for you, baby. Stay classy and stay horny. We're out.